This episode has been brought to you by me and my business, Lauren Grace Inspirations. I am a channel of the light and work with spirit guides, angels, the higher self, and passed over loved ones to provide you with support, clarity, and encouragement. Using oracle cards, mediumship, and clairvoyance, my readings will leave you feeling comforted and empowered. I have various reading options available, ranging from 30-minute readings to 60-minute readings to group sessions. I also work with professionals to help them gain clarity in business and life purpose. To book a reading with me, simply head to laurengraceinspirations.com. Hey, Lauren Grace here, and welcome. I always want to say welcome to the show, just based on my podcast. Welcome to the show, I guess, of sorts. Thank you so much for being here. I am very much looking forward to today and what today is going to bring. So my name is Lauren Grace, operator of Lauren Grace Inspirations. I'm a medium and a seer, and I'm also a business and life mentor. And I'm going all in right now on creating and promoting, I guess you could say, my time management course, which is available for spiritual professionals. So it's called Powerful Productivity. So if you are a spiritual professional, if you are a business person with spiritual beliefs, then this course is for you. Essentially, what I'm doing is I'm assisting you to get on top of your tasks so that you can stop playing catch up on the weekend and so that you can have a bigger impact here in the world, because, you know, that's why you're here. You're here to share the gifts and services that you have with the world. And sometimes what gets in the way of that are tedious tasks. And we forget how to prioritize. That's also a very big one. So I just realized here I'm uploading a couple of files. So I'm just going to pause them and put that aside so we can get back to the business at hand. So I also want to let you know that I have a free masterclass that's available for you. So if you are interested in getting on top of your tasks, just head to the little comment section of my post here and register for my free masterclass. Okay, so if you haven't already, please do make sure you say hello. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know if you're a first timer. If you could also share this with your friends and your family, that would be wonderful. Let them know that we're doing some live readings today. And we'll wait for everyone to sort of trickle in. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to encourage you to join me for a moment in taking some heart breaths. So just before we do that, I'm just going to set myself up as well. So wherever you are, if you want to just close your eyes, feel your sit bones on your chair. Just really want to arrive into this moment here and now. And, you know, you might be at home doing something, cooking, or, you know, just watching on your phone. But I really want to strongly encourage you to do this, because when we can connect at our heart space, when we can come back to the present moment and be here in the now, that really allows us to connect to our higher self. It allows us to open up the channels of connecting with spirit by saying, hey, spirit, I actually have time for you. And I'm taking this moment to be here now. So just close your eyes. If you feel comfortable, left hand on your heart, right hand on your left hand. And we're just going to take 3 cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then we'll get started. So in through the nose and out through the mouth and in through the nose, out through the mouth, and one more. We just ask for the creator of all that is to just guide us and to connect us to our past or loved ones, to our higher selves, to channeled information of the highest good for all concerned. My intention is always to serve you at the best and highest level as I possibly can, and to do so with love and to do so with light. So what I'd love to know from you, hello, welcome, is how are you doing? Let me know if you have a question. Thank you, Jason, shared. I see a bunch of people have shared. Thank you. Please continue to do that. If you want a reading, let me know. Let me know how things are going with you. I am a medium and I'm also a seer. I prefer to do mediumship. So I always am looking to see if we've got some souls here that want to connect. But I also work with guides. I also work with past lives as well. And I'm also a channel. So I just channel information from source, from spirit. All right. So let's see what we got going on. Just trying to connect. And I really hope that the sound here is good as well, because I've changed my microphone today. I've got a new microphone setup that I'm doing. But at the moment, it's not all rocking. So that'll be hopefully set up very soon. All right. Okay. So one thing too that's always really important to remember is that spirit tells me who to read for. And it's always going to be somebody that can serve the most people. So there will always be a healing message for you in any reading for anybody, because that's how God works, spirit works, source energy, the creator works, is they actually get us to connect with they get me to connect with people who are going to serve the greater good. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so I'm really being drawn to Laura Lou Blondie. So let's see how we go here. Okay. One of the things as well is that it's fine for us to chat and have a, you let me know how things are going, but I'm really being called lately to really get us to really encourage to watch our language, because our words are actually painting our future. So when we are having a difficult time, when we do something that might be stupid, when we are feeling a little bit lost, I feel personally, and always run everything through your own filter, of course, that when we focus on it, that it actually grows. So if I do something and I go, oh, that was really stupid, then my stupidity or my idea of stupidity tends to grow. Whereas if I go, okay, that was like maybe not the best way to have approached that. What would I do differently? Or how can I be compassionate for myself, understanding that I'm doing the best I can, operating at the level that I'm at? Because really, if we could do better, we would. The thing is that sometimes we don't actually really know better, or we would do better. And when we learn, then we do better. And so it's about remembering, I get that it's progress, not perfection. It's about moving forward with grace and ease and learning as we go instead of berating ourselves. And, me being a perfectionist, I totally get where you're at. So I'm there too sometimes. Or I'm just going to put that out there as well. Okay. Laura Lou, so please let me know if you are here. I'm feeling a lot of anxiety, a lot of stuff happening in the heart space here. This is the green chakra center in the heart space. So I don't know whether or not we've got matters of the heart that are sort of going on, but I'm really being drawn there as well. I'm also feeling like really kind of almost nauseated. So I think that could be related to a gut thing, possibly. So I'd like to know whether or not your diet is at its optimal peak, whether or not you're taking care of your body in terms of that. But I'm really feeling nausea. I'm really feeling like there's something that's not sitting well with me. So it could be that there's a matter of the heart that's going on and it's really not connecting with me. So there's something that's happening in terms of that. Love to know if you have any feedback to share with me as well, but I've always got to go with the physical. I also feel that I've got some stuff going on in the back of my neck. So a lot of pressure when I'm getting things that are happening, shoulders and neck. That for me is always an indication that we feel like the weight of the world is on our shoulders, that we're carrying a lot, really affecting our ability to hold ourselves straight, really affecting, I get that, thank you, our ability to be able to move forward with grace, because we're not really standing easily. We're kind of like almost struggling, kind of going like that. Lots of stuff going on in the head. I'm feeling a big headache coming through as well. Really want to encourage you to drink some water as well. Okay. They're also telling me to look into the sugar intake. I'm not a doctor, but one of the things that I always that I'm kind of feeling is that we almost need some heat in the body, that the body is sort of like cold a little bit. So I really want you to look at how much sugar you're consuming, see whether or not maybe a cleanse might be something good for you, or something that's really going to nurture the gut. Okay. Kombucha, things like that. Also getting some throat stuff coming through. I don't know whether or not you're a smoker or whether or not it's a communication thing. I don't always go to smoking when I'm connecting to the throat space. So just let me know, no judgment, of course, just seeing whether or not we're picking up on things that have to do with communication or have to possibly do as well with respiratory. Okay, one of the cards that came up that flew here was the Field of Dreams card. Isn't that so beautiful? I love that. And that's card number 21, and 2 plus 1 is a 3, and 3 is about creativity, new ideas. It's also about stability because a pyramid, think about the pyramid's got 3 points, but it's super strong, super sturdy. However, it's also about pregnancy. So it could be that there's someone around you that's pregnant, could be also a fertile time. Now, one of the things that I do want to mention is today's Lionsgate. So it's a really good opportunity for you to be manifesting. So that's right. Okay. They're telling me it's about focusing on the things that you want, not focusing on the things that you don't want. And what's really cool is that when we know what we don't want, then we know what we do want. And so when we see in this photo here, we see these little beautiful fairies and they're sitting on their eggs. The eggs haven't hatched yet, okay? They're kind of sitting there. They have their manifestation, their ideas, their dreams that are kind of getting incubated. They're putting all their energy into that. And they're really aware that it's not the time for those ideas to hatch just yet. I get that. One of the things that we're being reminded of as well is that when we're navigating through life and we want things to happen quickly and we want things to happen right now, basically, like in my time frame, you know, the song from The Doors, it's like, I think it's Rolling Stones, you don't always get what you want, but you get what you need. Everything happens in divine timing. So when we can set our goals and our intentions, and then we can go, okay, God, creator, source energy, insert, divine name here, over to you, then we can really kind of get out of our own way. When we want to force things to happen, when we are, yes, I get that. Okay. When we want to force things to happen, what we do is we create blocks, we create issues, we create communication challenges. We sort of like, I get that. I don't know. I got some major throat stuff going on with you, sister. Okay. Let's go try to clear a little bit of that for myself. So one of the things that, okay, I just got to wait. I got to listen. We have to come back to intention. Why is it that we're doing the things that we're doing? Okay. Feeling a lot of pressure in the head, feeling a lot of pressure that you're carrying a lot of stuff that's sort of going on. I get that. So one of the things we do need to look at is our intention. Why are we doing the things that we're doing? Are we doing something because we're hoping to get something in return? Are we doing something because we're hoping someone will like us? Are we doing something because we want to insert whatever outcome that we're looking for? Or can we just give of our heart? Can we just give a compliment? Can we just be without thinking about, well, what's going to come back to me and who owes me something? Okay. I'm just going to see. You said change in diet and no smoking. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that you're not smoking, only because I'm picking this up in the throat stuff. So it could be that there's a communication. So if you are open to a change in diet, maybe have a little bit of a look into, I get that. Thank you. One of the things that I try to notice for myself is sometimes if I go to eat something, sometimes I'll notice that maybe I'll start getting itchy, when I'm eating it, or maybe there'll be another kind of indication that this isn't for me. Maybe my tongue will start to feel itchy, or there'll be some kind of sign that says, hey, maybe this isn't necessarily for you. You may want to look into that. You may want to look into muscle testing as well. But very often it's really good to kind of limit our amount of gluten if that feels right for you, limit the amount of sugar, and really look at drinking a lot of water, building up our immune system from the inside, right? So eating those healthy foods that are really going to assist us and going to support us. Because one of the challenges that we have, of course, is that mentally we're going to be in a fog if we're eating foods that aren't really for us. I get that. One of the things that they're talking about as well that you could start to notice for yourself is if you eat something, how do you react later? Like half an hour, 45 minutes later? Are you still sprightly and mind, or do you feel lethargic and you need to have a nap? Do you feel low energy? Do you feel angry? I remember one time, that was a really fascinating experiment. It wasn't intentional, but I remember when I was working for a corporate job, they used to sometimes do morning tea, right? Someone's birthday or something like that. And I remember that, sorry, just getting that throat stuff. I remember that day I ate breakfast, and I eat intermittent fast, so I don't eat breakfast normally. But there was sugar in it. Where I'm trying to go is that I had a whole bunch of sugar at one time, and I noticed right away that I started getting irritated, that I started feeling irritable, that my patience was wearing thin. And I don't get irritated very easily. I can be pretty cruisy, but I noticed there was a direct correlation with the amount of sugar that I had with my emotions and how I was reacting. So maybe notice that for yourself. And you watching at home, maybe have a little bit of a notice for yourself as well, whether or not that resonates with you too. Hey, CK, awesome. Actually, I was just talking about our old job. That's so funny. All right. So Laura Lou, I'll do one more for you and then we'll move forward. Okay, I get that. So one of the things that they are talking about, and this is super interesting actually, because right now it's Lionsgate, it's 8 of the 8, and we have card number 26, which is also an 8, and we have a lion in this picture here. So they are telling you that this is a huge, huge opportunity for you right now to be able to manifest what it is that you want. So what I want you to think about, if it feels right for you, is I want you to take a moment. I want you to think to yourself, what is it that's going to serve me? Who is it that I want to become? How is it that I can, bring about that kind of change? And that is through being clear. That's why we want to talk about intention. That's why we want to talk about taking care of the body. That's why we want to get clear on who is it that I want to be, and am I showing up like them now? So I hope that you found that that was helpful for you. I'm going to move forward here and do a couple more readings because I'm going to try to serve a lot of people today. So we'll sort of see. But I want you to also pay attention to the fact that this is sort of a winter period, and this is also a period of incubation. So it's about setting your intentions now and then allowing them to grow into what they're going to be at the right time for you. Okay, it's not going to happen right now, which is okay, because everything will happen when it's meant to. All right, so I hope that you found that helpful. Please do let me know. And we'll see who's next. And if you are new, please let me know. I'm going to change decks for a minute here. Hello to everybody watching. Thank you. Okay. Just got a really bad headache. I got to shift that for a second. So if you want a reading, please do let me know. And again, always trying to do mediumship. I'm changing now to the Shaman's Dream deck. We'll see what we get from that. CK, are you still on? If you want to let me know. Just going to wait a minute and see if CK is on. If he is, I will do a reading for him. Oh, and Laura Lou, you said, oh my God, yes, going through change. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. Just remember, you are powerful. This is the thing. We forget how powerful we are. We can really change our entire lives around just, when we decide to do it. So it's about us just going, you know what? I want things to be different. I'm going to start treating my body better. I'm going to start getting clear in the things and messages I'm telling myself on a regular basis. And I'm going to just step into my power as an independent person. It's really important that we do that. We are strong enough to do it. Okay, cool. All right. I don't think CK's on right now. CK, if you are on, please let me know and I will do a reading for you. But for now, I want to read for someone who is on. Let me see here. Maureen. Yes, I don't think I've read for you before. Let's see what we got. Thank you for being here. I'm just going to see about connecting with your energy. I'm just looking, listening, and feeling for a moment. I'm really being drawn to the throat space for you as well. Space is very often about that communication. Okay. But I'm also being drawn to the lung area, which is the heart space. So I don't know, maybe today we're dealing with a lot of heart chakra stuff today. Now, one of the things is that opening up the heart is really important for us to heal. Okay. So bringing through some greens, wearing greens, eating green foods, anything of that nature is going to be really helpful for you to open up that heart space. If you are interested, there's a really great yoga position called Goddess. Just Google it. There's some nice different poses that you can use with props, such as rolling up blankets and things of that nature. And what you really want to do is you want to actually open up your chest, open up your heart, and do some deep breathing through there. Okay. Maureen, I feel like we need to do a little bit of clearing, a little bit of shifting in that area. Okay. I feel kind of like when I'm looking at that space for you, it's sort of a little bit, it feels like it's a little bit muggy. That's basically like little sort of rain clouds, but not heavy, just a little bit. I just feel like we need to do a little bit of a shift, because what happens is that when we can open up our heart a little bit more, we can open up to more beauty, more joy, more ease, more grace. Vulnerability allows us to do that. And when we can just sort of open up our space, we allow new things to enter, new ideas, new people, new situations, new circumstances. So if that feels like that resonates with you, you could always Google and look up different heart opening crystals, such as, rose quartz is a really popular one that you could use. You could also do that heart opening for the yoga. You could wear those greens, eat those green foods, be around green plants and things of that nature. The other thing that you could look at doing as well, Maureen, is there a whole bunch of music that you can find. Hertz music, Hertz. You can also look up Meditative Mind on YouTube. There's a lot of really cool music on there, on their YouTube channel, that will really allow you to be able to open up that heart space on like using the vibration of the music. And I think that you might find that that's really helpful. Also, I'm not sure where you're based, but there's a great company called Australian Bush Flower, and they have a lot of really good tinctures on their website, about $20 each, literally, that can heal you on an emotional level. And I was just interviewing on my podcast, the Afterlight podcast, shameless plug, Ian White, and his episode's going live in a couple months, but we were talking a lot about using those tinctures to really help you to heal on an emotional level, so you can open up to greater joy. So that's Australian Bush Flower, and they do send internationally. All right. So, and you're New Zealand. Yeah, they do ship to New Zealand. So the cool thing about that is you basically take 7 drops every single day for about 2 to 3 weeks. If it's a physical thing, it's a month. And if it's not a physical thing, if it's an emotional thing, for 2 weeks. And there's a lot of stuff on there, such as things that can help you with purifying your body, boosting your confidence, opening up to abundance, heart healing, letting things go, all that kind of stuff. So I have a bunch of stuff in my shopping cart at the moment. So I'll be putting that through real soon. All right, let's take a couple of cards and then we'll move on to somebody else. I do want to also connect and see whether or not I've got anyone here in spirit for you. So I'm just going to have a little peek. If I could just get my guides to help me, probably need to do things really loudly today for me. Interesting. Okay, so Maureen, I'm not sure whether or not this resonates with you, but what I am getting in my on my right side. So when I get messages from my right side, you may notice I go, I got that, I got that, I got that. That's where my guides come through. Boom, 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 boom. And they feed information through. Now, one of the things that they are talking about is light language. And light language is connected to star seeds. And I'm actually hearing light language when I'm connecting with your energy. So I'm not sure whether or not you've looked into light language before. I'm going to put a link in right now into the comments here. So if you feel called to, please make sure you grab this. I'm just going to go light language episode and I'll paste it in for you there right now. So on my show, I interviewed a woman named Simone Lee. And she actually explains all about light language. She actually works with people to help them to explore their light language. I was talking to somebody about this earlier today, so maybe that's the theme for today. I feel like for you, you actually have some really big opportunities to be able to channel information through, okay? And I feel like the heart space is going to be a really big opportunity for you to kind of open up to a little bit more of that sort of guidance as well. But they are playing light language for me. So if that resonates with you, I would really check out that episode and see whether or not you want to explore that a little bit further. All right, so let me see what else we got here. Pull a couple cards and then we'll move to the next one. Of course, we had to get that, right? Heart home. Hello. All right, that's in the future, by the way. So in the past, what we've got is we've got the Mindful Group Think card. Look at how beautiful that is. Now, this is card number 40, and 4 plus 0 is a 4, and 4 is all about intention setting. It's about goal setting. It's about being really clear on where you want to be and who you want to be, and then putting the plan in place to get there. So, for example, it's like strategy. So I want to go here. I got to do these steps to get there. You know, I want to learn light language. I got to explore this. I got to do more meditation. I got to, check out all these different modalities to get there, to open up, to trust myself, blah, 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 right? So this is also about paying attention to the company that we keep. Sometimes we keep company around us, our community, the people that we spend time with, sometimes the people that we even work with, that aren't necessarily lifting our energy all the time. And so when we are sensitive beings like you, when we are empathic, when we feel people's energies very deeply, we have to make sure we're clearing and cleansing our energy, right? That's why I'm seeing some of that around the heart space. It's about clearing and cleansing. I don't know whether or not you have someone close to you that is going through some emotional stuff, but sometimes we take that on. It's almost like the subconscious way of us going, I don't want you to suffer, so I'll suffer for you instead. But we're really on our own journey, and we all have to learn how to manage our own energy. So for you, it's about being really clear about the company you keep, the community that you are, where you're spending your time. And that also counts for the news you read, the shows you watch, the podcasts you listen to, the books you read, all these sort of things. It's almost as though if we imagine that every single thing that we're doing is adding a little recipe, a little ingredients into our life. We're like cooking up a beautiful dish, which is our life, and everything that we're doing is adding that seasoning. So it's about really being aware about the influence that all of these things are having on you. Okay. Now, in the future, in the present, and this is so good. This is really in alignment with what we're talking about. This is the Magician's Sword card. This is called card number 37. 3 plus 7 is a 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 is new beginnings, new start. But it's not like an 11, which for me, when I read an 11, that's kind of a new start on steroids. It's like, be careful, girl. Holy, new chapter opening up. This is a lot about you sort of getting into it. It's almost like you're dabbing your toe in. You're putting your toe in, you're kind of like checking it out a little bit to see sort of what's going to serve you and what's not. This is also saying confidence in your magic. So remember how I was talking a little bit about, even when I was using my example about you want to be light, you want to maybe try light language, for example, you have to work on your confidence. You have to do these little things to kind of help you. That's what this is a lot about. It's about confidence in self. And I can tell you that when I started doing my mediumship, it was one of the biggest lessons in me being confident in what I get. Because when I'm talking to a soul and spirit, and they're giving me information, and I'm talking to somebody, they don't always know what it is I'm talking about. We have to really work together on it, like detective work. And it's a big part of me trusting what I'm getting to deliver to you, much like I'm doing this exact moment. Light language is going to be a lot about trust, but the vibrations that we can get from light language, which I discussed in that episode with Saman, are so cool. They heal people, they assist them in working through and processing stuff in a really gentle, loving way. There's also a light activation in that episode. So if this is resonating with you, I really want to encourage you to check it out. So you're saying, I hope I can look back on this, please. Yeah, this episode, will be live. So when I'm done today, you can go back and you can re-listen to it. That's absolutely no problem. Okay, I got to wrap this up quickly because I want to read for a lot of people today. So in the future, we have the heart home, and this is compassion. So this is a lot about you stepping into that heart space that I was just talking about before we pulled these cards. This is about you remembering that home really is where the heart is, having that compassion, that understanding for yourself, right? So as we grow in confidence, the self-care, all these things really start to naturally happen for us. But you could start right now. You don't have to wait. You can decide, you know what? I actually want to talk to myself nicely. I want to treat myself with kindness. If you go to Instagram and actually, I can just put a link for it right now. I think that'll make things easier. Mastering your mindset. 1 second. Okay, so I have a free challenge, which is kicking off on September 1st. It's called Mastering Your Mindset. And this is the build your I'm just going to put it all in caps. I'm not yelling at anyone. I'm just putting build your confidence. And it's a 7-day challenge where basically what you do is you register, then I have your email, and you will get, starting September 1, a daily email that gets you to look at an affirmation that you can invite into your life to really assist you in connecting with your heart, to grow in confidence, to start to step into your power. One of the things that I see people do on a regular basis is ignore themselves, ignore their needs, ignore the conversations that their body's trying to have with them. Don't look at themselves in the mirror. I mean, I've worked with clients who can't look at themselves in the mirror without crying or judgment. And so it's about just knowing that I get that. Our relationship with ourselves is the most important, because when we can love ourselves and be compassionate with ourselves and show up as the best version of ourselves, which changes every day, then we can be that for other people as well. And I can tell you that for me, I work on this every day as well, being compassionate and kind and understanding with myself. But the fact is that I'm making it a priority. So it's, again, not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about going, you know what? I actually want to love myself. I actually want to open up to all of the joy and the bliss and the ease and grace and laughter that is available for me while I'm living here on earth. And I'm deserving of that. And I'm going to make those small steps, dip my toe in while I work it out. Okay. And then the overarching card for you, and this is just so funny. I love it. How like I just channel stuff and then the cards are like, here you go. This is the overarching card about what to do next. And this is talking about taking that bold step forward. Look at that beautiful light coming through, letting you know that it's all going to be well. This is card number 55, and 55 is a master number, so I don't actually split it up or break it down. So 55 is a lot about change. It's a lot about almost, I feel for you, it's kind of, if you're ready to walk through that door, to walk through that passage, and to say to yourself, you know what? I don't want to live small anymore. I want to step into my power and be this bright, beautiful, sovereign soul that I came here to be, because you have a purpose. You have a gift to share with the world. Okay, so I hope that you found that helpful. I've got a lot of compliments. I don't know if I have a lot of compliments. I have a lot of comments. When I'm talking, though, I can't always read. So just have a little look and see whether or not that was resonating with you. I do know this. Very good. I know all this. Very good. All right, cool. Well, then, if you do already know all of this, then keep it going. Congratulations. That's so good, because if you already know it within your own heart, then there's nothing holding you back. All right, let's next, shall we? Please let me know if you guys are here, and I will do as much. You're welcome, Maureen. Thank you. Okay. And I did put a link to that Mastering Your Mindset. You don't have to go to Instagram. Don't even worry about that at all. All right. So let me see what we got here. I'm just having a look here. I'm just waiting for Spirit to guide me. All right, Karen, let's go with Karen Bullitt. I don't know if I've read for you. I think maybe I have. If you are new, please do let me know. But Karen, I guess they want me to read for you. I feel like that cat is familiar. But I sort of have an agreement with Source that I forget most of my readings after I do them, because I just can't carry all that with me, frankly. So, all right, Karen, let's see what we got here coming through for you. I'm just looking, listening, and feeling. Just gonna have a drink of water as well. Sorry, I just dropped that. Okay. You have a real peaceful feeling. Your energy feels, you just feel really calm and centered. And I feel sort of excited when I'm connecting with your energy as well. Sort of like you're like, okay, you know, I'll do this. What do we got? What's going on? You know, there's a real casualness to your energy. I'm just seeing what I can feel. Again, I feel drawn to the heart space for you. For you, I feel it's a lot about emotions and a lot about intuition as well. I get that. I feel like for you, it's a big opportunity for you at the moment to be trusting your intuition a little bit more. So I'm not sure whether or not there's been a situation that's come up around you that's really let you know about that. Sometimes what happens, I get that. I'm feeling a little pain in my right knee. I just felt like a surge of pain in my right knee. That is always an indication of maybe not feeling able to move forward. Sometimes stubbornness is sort of affecting us in that way. So, what have you been getting? What messages have you been getting? What songs are you hearing in your head? You know, are there physical ailments that are presenting themselves to you that are alerting yourself of something that may need to be healed within? So whenever I get knee pain, it's a lot about feeling stubborn and kind of stuck in my ways and not wanting to move forward and not necessarily being open to divine timing and being open to looking at things from a new direction. So when we get those knee pains, it's always an indication of, okay, how is it that I can maybe release here? How can I surrender? You know, when I'm looking at myself and my situations and I'm going through life and I'm trying to control things, is there an opportunity for me to just sort of take a step back and just allow things to happen, you know? For example, this is just a random example. Somebody's putting the dishes in the dishwasher, maybe not the way that you want it done. Can we just sort of sit back and allow it to be instead of worrying about it? When we look for little opportunities like that in life to be able to surrender, I also use relax as a synonym of surrender, which I always found helpful. When we can look for opportunities for us to just relax and chill a little bit more, that really allows us to start to go with the flow. I get that. One of the things that they're talking about as well is they want to talk about saying yes to more things. I also feel like I have a woman in spirit here. I'm just going to describe her to you. You can tell me if this makes sense. I want to talk about books. I want to talk about libraries. And I'm getting a lot of pain happening in the head as well. So that could be that there was like a brain thing that went on, whether or not there was fuzziness or fogginess happening in the brain around the time of passing or not clarity. I'm feeling like I'm having a difficult time seeing, sort of like foggy. So that could be around glasses. It could be around vision impairment. It could be around mental fog, mental fatigue. So there's something going on with that as well. This woman strikes to me as being probably around 5'6", maybe. She's in her 60s. I feel like she colors her hair. I feel like it's sort of brown reddish. It's short. I feel like she's fit. And yeah, can I just get you to stand behind? It's almost as though I want to talk about like the mother side of the family. It could be an aunt or a cousin or something like that. She's not coming at me like the mother or grandmother, more of an angle of the family tree coming at me from this sort of area when I'm picking up with her energy. I will say it's interesting that I can see her here and feel her here. So that's always cool. So yeah, let me know whether or not that connects with you. Oh, okay. So you just said dementia. Okay, yes. So if you could let me know. Yes. So I'd be interested in the connection if you feel like telling me, but I definitely do feel more of the mother side, but definitely the head stuff. Okay, coming through. Yes. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. So I'll just see if I can get anything else to drop in for you because I feel like we've had some good stuff come through. Can I just get you to show me any hobbies, any names, anything at all that you want to share that you want Karen to know? I'm feeling emotion when I'm connecting with her energy as well. I'm also feeling like difficulty with speaking. So I don't know if there was something difficulty with communicating kind of near the end, not being able to say all the words. I'm also feeling just like a lot of stuff. Okay. So I'm feeling really emotional. It's like I want to get the words out, but I can't say the things that I want to say. So you were thinking of your mom, but the rest you were saying, not sure it's her. Sometimes what does happen, and again, when we're doing live readings and I don't have a full hour to work with someone, it can be difficult. I can be getting the physical physicality of a soul and seeing another soul. It's very possible. So this woman here, I feel like she belongs over here on the mother's side of the family, but it could be that I'm getting the physical as well from another soul that's not necessarily presented. Keep on going here. I'll just spend a couple of more minutes and see whether or not we can get anything else coming through. So was feeling a lot of emotion when I was connecting there, a lot of throat stuff going on with not being able to communicate. I do feel like that's coming at me from this angle versus this one, but we'll just see what else we can get here. I do want to talk about flowers. I do want to talk about pink flowers. I almost want to talk about them being roses. So there's like a pink flower connection here. I'm just looking and listening and feeling. I don't know whether or not someone was interested in sailboats, but there's a sailboat reference. So there's a water reference, but then I'm feeling like when I'm looking at the boat, there's some kind of white sort of sail on top of the boat. What's important to remember as well is sometimes when we're connecting with souls, we're also connecting with the souls of someone close to us. So if this person doesn't land with you necessarily, doesn't mean mom's not here, but at the moment, this is what I'm getting from here. It could also be someone close to you, but there's definitely a sales sort of thing, like a sales image, like the sail part. I don't know. I don't know all the boat terms. So just see if that resonates with you. Yes, you're saying mom couldn't really talk. Yes, so I'm feeling that from here, this front area. There's like a necklace here. Is there some kind of a necklace? Does that have like a moon or like a horseshoe kind of image, shape for it? I almost want to talk about a silver necklace in that kind of a shape. And I almost feel like there's a pink stone or some kind of pink element there as well for that. Okay, you're saying your uncle had a small boat that you used to go on. All right, cool. So it may be that there's a connection here or a nod to your uncle. Again, when we're doing live mediumship, we can't talk. I'm kind of like go a little bit here and a little bit there versus being all niche down and focused. So I'm just going to see if I can get one more thing coming through, and then I'm going to do another card for someone else. I feel like there's an S name that's coming up, like a Sandy, Sandra, some kind of an S name that's coming up. So I always have to give you what I get. Anything else just before we wrap up here? I also want to talk about a black and white cat. So there's some kind of a cat that's coming through, black and white. This looks to me like a cat, very slinky, but good with cuddles, but kind of like independent. And I know most cats are independent, but of course we get those cats that are cuddly and we get the cats that never want to be touched. This one is kind of a combination of the two, happy to be stroked, but there's definitely a black cat, soft, and I do feel like there's some white coloring as well. I'm just going to see if I can get one little message from you, and then I'll move on and do another reading. Can I just see if there's anything through that you can bring for me for Karen, whether it's from mom or whether it's from you? Any message, any guidance, anything at all like that? I'm just looking, listening, and feeling here. So they are talking about a new chapter, a new change, a new journey, a new direction. So I don't know if you've been contemplating making some kind of a change. When I make decisions, it's all about what makes me feel lighter in the situation. So coming back within and really checking in with your intuition about making those decisions. But I do feel like it's like turning over a new leaf. And one of the things that I'm getting here is like a flower in bloom. It's about blooming where you're being planted. So it's about knowing that you are able to make these changes, moving forward, growing where you are. So sometimes we're not always where we want to be, but we can see where we're wanting to go. So it's about embracing that idea, getting ready to open up to that new opportunity, and then expanding. So learning new things. I want to bring it back to the book concept again, learning new things. I don't know if it's going back to school, something along those lines. So I know that's a bit... Oh, Sandra is your cousin's wife. Okay, so there's a nod to Sandra as well there. So, all right, Karen, I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that you found that helpful. If anything else comes through for you that you remember and you feel like sharing it with me, I'd love to hear. But I want to thank you so much for connecting with me. I want to thank your mom for coming through, and also your other loved one here. And I want to thank you for sharing your energy with me today as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I have still quite a few people watching, I would love to do a 1, 2, 3 card reading, and I'm going to choose from my funny deck. And I don't know if you've seen me read from this deck before, but it's super different. And it's Morgan's Tarot. You're welcome, Karen. Thank you. It's Morgan's Tarot, and it's super wacky. And I first discovered it when I was in the Tarot Museum in Tokyo, Japan, which, by the way, if you go to Tokyo, I recommend you go, and you have to book in advance, just on a side note. So let me know if you are a number 1, number 2, number 3. Best way that I know to serve everybody just before I wrap as well, although I think I'll have time for another reading. And I've done some pretty strong readings within 5 minutes, I will say. So just 1, 2, or 3. Think of your question. Maybe you're just open to guidance and you just want to see what happens, what spirit has to say for you, to you. Okay. And this card deck, I also read it because it's really can be a little bit hard to read, and I like the challenge. Nothing like being challenged when you're live as well, which I always find very interesting. Okay, so let me know 1, 2, or 3. I don't see any 2s. See a few 1s, see a few 3s. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, or 3, and we will see what comes in. Okay, so number 1, this is saying you are a pawn, and this card has come through before. So if you're a number 1, I want you to listen here. You are a pawn. Now, this is a lovely way of saying that you are not taking control of your life enough. Does that resonate with you? Are you being clear about who you want to be and where you want to go? I know that I've been in situations before, work situations especially, before I worked for myself, where I really felt that I didn't have the power to leave that job, or that I was sort of stuck there, in a way. And even though I loved what I was doing, when you're a pawn, you're kind of part of the system, aren't you? You're sort of going through the motions without realizing that you're a powerful, independent soul being. So, being Lionsgate 8 of the 8 today, and if you're in the States, 88 tomorrow, or North America, it's important that you remember that you are powerful, that you are in control of where you want your life to go. If you wake up every day, when you wake up every day, if you wake up every day, when you wake up, you can set your day with intention. You can say, what do I want this day to look like? And one of the cool things to remember is that we can restart our day at any time, right? Anytime something happens that's really not in alignment with us, where we're like, I don't want that to affect my day. Well, you don't have to. Remember, I was listening to a conversation that Oprah was having, and she was saying she was having an attitude problem about something. And so what she ended up doing is going and sitting in her closet until her attitude adjusted. When you get cut off in traffic, or someone pisses you off because they do something, and you're thinking, oh, wait a minute, I could allow this to really make me have a bad day, or I can reset because I'm not a pawn. I actually am in control. But the thing is that you have to decide to embrace that power. Now, your angels and your spirit guides cannot connect to you unless you ask them. So just saying, hey, can you guys give me a break? Can you give me some help? Give me some support. Hey, show me the way. I'm ready for my next step. That invites in your guides and your angels, your higher self, to co-create with you. Okay, that's enough of that. Bye, Bridget. Thank you. All right, number 2. Here we go, my people. Number 2. Number 2 is Morgan's Tarot. Oh, wait a minute. I feel like that is actually, I'm going to choose a new number 2. I'm doing that because when I'm looking at it, it just looked to me as though it was the cover card and not an actual card. And sources saying, okay, so this is interesting because this is kind of very similar to the concept of you are a pawn. So if you were listening to the You Are the Pawn summary, I feel like there's a lot for you within this as well. And it says glob reigns. Glob reigns. See what I mean about this deck being a little bit difficult to read? So when we look at glob reigns here, what we're looking at is we're looking for the influence and the power that things are having on us. We're looking for whether or not the community that we're spending time with, the books that we're reading, the music we're listening to. Music, by the way, is a massive thing, you know, full of all those lyrics, all those affirmations really that comes through. So when we go, okay, glob reigns, for me, I see this kind of mucky, slithery, kind of like oily kind of thing that's sort of starting to saturate, right? Almost all over us. It's like, oh no, globs raining. I don't want that to come through. So what you want to do is you want to start to notice, how do the people around you affect you? Do they lift you up? Do they make you feel good? Do they make you feel down? Do you feel drained? Do you feel that the relationship is a give and a give, you know, a give and a take on both sides? So this is a really big indication to start to pay attention to the influences that you are allowing to reign over you, kind of like an authority, you know, sort of like the monarchy, right? Something is trumping you. You are not a pawn. Remember, you are in control. You are powerful. You are able to shift and change this. It's just about you deciding that you really want to. So start to notice those influences and see whether or not they're creeping in where they shouldn't be. And remember that you can say no. You can stop to invite them in. Okay. For my people number 3, this is saying not unfolding the way it should, the universe. And we've got that nice little peace sign in the middle. And this card is really about, and this is number 3, and I really hope that you're hearing this, it's saying not unfolding the way it should, the universe. I want you to start to notice when you are going through life with ease and grace and flow and laughter and joy, and when you're not. And in my expert opinion, in my opinion for myself, and always running everything through your own filter to see whether or not it resonates with you, when we are paying attention to life as it flows, we are then hitting all the green lights. We're getting inspiration. We're getting deja vus. We're having coincidences. We think of someone and they call us. All of these magical things start to unfurl. When things are not unfolding the way that they should, when they're taking us off of our path, it's because we've maybe said yes to things we want to say no to. It's because maybe we haven't been noticing the signs that are pointing to go left and we go right. Maybe we're not in the present moment. We're focusing too much on the future or too much on the past, that we forget, you know, what is happening here in the now moment. So this is a really big indication of you to start to notice when you are in flow with life and when you are not. And if you are not in flow, for me, if I'm not in flow, I'll have a nap, I'll meditate, I'll try something different, I'll take no action at all. I'll almost like wait until I'm very clear on the next step. And the next step can come through in a podcast episode. You might get that aha moment. You might have a book that falls in front of you at the library. A friend might say, hey, check out this new movie, or invite you to something. There will be something that happens. You may get a song that plays in your mind, you know, which is a sign from spirit. Go have a shower, you know, imagine the shower, the color coming through the top of the shower head, clearing and cleansing your energy. Have a salt bath, do some journaling. Meditation, as I said, is going to be a really great opportunity for you to reset. When you choose to start to pay attention to when things are flowing for you and when they're not, that's when you are empowered. That's when you are in power. That's when you are here in the now moment and you can choose a different direction. So let me know whether or not that resonated with you. I'm actually going to wrap up because I feel like this is my time. And I want to thank you very much for joining me today. If you haven't already, please do sign up for my free masterclass. I've put a link to it there in the comments. I want to thank you very much for being here, for sharing this live with your friends and your family, and of course, for subscribing to the Afterlight podcast. New episodes every Thursday, and there's so much wisdom and goodness for you to be found within those episodes. So I want to thank you very much for being here. And I'm sorry if you didn't get a reading, but I really hope that you got a lot of value from the people that I did read for. Karen, you signed up. Awesome. Thank you, Karen. I hope you enjoy it. And of course, if you've got any questions or any comments or anything, just send me a DM. Find me over on Facebook at Lauren Grace Inspirations, or on Instagram at Lauren Grace Inspirations, or the Afterlight Podcast. Thanks for being here. And Tony, if you'd love to sign up, all of the details can be found just in the comments of this post. All right, I'll talk to you next week. And thank you for all your beautiful, loving vibes. And I'm sending the same thing right back to you. Bye.